Welcome to the Plum podcast. I'm Rosalie.
And I'm Sarah.
And we are the Plum Collective. This conversation is such a clear example of why I love the mirror and why we made the mirror free so that you can experience it. There's no cost barrier to it. It is available to you. You can use it over and over again. We use it over and over again. And every time we use it, we learn something about ourselves. We surprise ourselves. We get clearer about who we are and what we want and how we feel. And it's not scary. It's not like looking in an actual mirror and picking apart and being critical about how you look or who you are in that sense. This is magic. This is something else. This is intuition. This is inner guidance. It's increasing your knowledge inside of yourself, so that your GPS system can guide you, that you're actually listening to the directions you're giving yourself.
This practice is available to you for free. All you have to do is go to the Mirror Challenge. We have it linked in the description box of this episode. It's a free series of 3 Plum practice sessions that also comes with a bunch of pep talks, and you'll get emails and reminders about engaging with it. All you have to do is push play. It's not hard or scary. Healing doesn't have to be hard. Feeling your feelings can be fun.
There's so much choice in it, and it is instructional. It's a game. I just want people to fucking push play on the open the emails and push play on the video and participate, or just listen. There's so much value in just watching the video. The podcast part of the session really does, over time, inspire you to try it for yourself, to see what would happen for you if you did it. But you get so much just from witnessing us do it. The first sentence I wrote, I'm not going to read out loud. Then I wrote, I don't want to write things I won't say out loud, but I feel that is stopping me. I saw a black holographic marble and my body made of light. I saw what Blank saw in the hallway of the nursing home. Strangers and passers-by don't have time to develop deep hatred and resentment towards me. Well, usually. They feel and sense and see the spark. They often let themselves follow the feeling. Why have so many medical professionals crawled into my hospital bed? Why do I hold court in every room I'm in? It's the same thing that made her think I was rude. The same thing the Blanks stood next to and poured water on. Same spark, same flame, same light, unchanged. Other people's insecurities are dangerous for me. Other people's insecurities have almost been the death of me, too many times. I can sniff a whiff from light years away. I want to live. I want to have fun. I am pissed I have to keep avoiding their death. I've said it clearly. I've always said it clearly. I've said it like my life has depended on it. The danger is other people's ignorance, insecurities, and lack of comprehension. Not my word choices, not how I talk. It was never me. Never.
Is there anything you want to say?
No.
I felt definitely a somber feeling in this one. And when you said the hallway of the nursing home at the beginning, and I think you said the marble was holographic, black holographic, and your body was made of light. And there was something about saying hallway in the nursing home that for me put the hallway as dark. Probably wasn't the case. I'm sure there were lights on, but I was seeing it as night, like darkness, and that you, this body made of light, and the marble are there. That's the image I had in my mind the entire time you were reading. So it had a somber and dark feeling, but I also didn't feel like it was so dark or only dark because of that image of your body made of light and the marble, which was present as well. So it feels somber, but not in a hopeless way to me. That's how I feel about it. And I just wish I wish it felt fun for you, you know? So I have that feeling too of like, ugh, I'm sorry and it sucks. And I'm so proud of you that even though this has been your experience, you still are this body of light. And that's remarkable and beautiful. And it sucks. Those things are are both true. And you talk about this, and we've talked about this in the past, that the circumstances and the environment and the people around you, it would be understandable if you were not a body of light, you know? And
Yeah.
you are, and I see it, and you continue to show up like that, even when there's reasons not to. So I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. Yeah, it does feel somber to me as well, and just really, really crystal clear that it is never me, you know? It's how people respond to me. My experience starting to write something that I knew I wouldn't read out loud, I thought, well, I could just continue writing that way and then just say, like, I'm not, going to read this one out loud. That could have been an option. But I went this way. The feeling of being unchanged is really present for me. And hearing you say that again, like, it would be very understandable, very reasonable if I did have a different attitude or if I responded differently when people act like this towards me. But I just never do. I always am understanding of why they see me like I'm the worst thing in the world when I know that that's not true. I know that that's not who I am or how I think or what I want or anything. I just know that I'm unchanged by other people's ugh. And so to like really know that and feel that solid is something that I feel like I got from this experience. And the marble did go in a place that surprised me. Like I said, I could have written something that I wouldn't have wanted to share. And instead I am sharing something that is slightly removed from my experience, which feels comfortable to share and will remind me of what my experience was. It was like a choice that I made, and I feel really proud of myself or happy with the choice that I made
Yeah.
to like navigate it that way.
Yeah. And that sentence that you wrote that you did not read is a starting point. You could choose another
Yeah.
time on your own when it's not, when we're not recording, and
Hmm.
you could go that way with you.
Yeah.
And as you were talking, the especially, I mean, the word unchanged and this sure of yourself, full of yourself concept that we've talked about. Okay, well, that's why it didn't go a different way for you, because
Yeah.
you have always known it, in my perception, like when you talk about your childhood, that you've
Yeah.
always had that. And it was a choice you made then,
Hmm.
as a child. And that's remarkable. So, I mean, it's like, we could say, why are you like this? And be like confused, but it's like, it's right here. It's so clear. It's
Yeah.
because you're sure of yourself. And we can all have that.
Yeah.
And you are an inspiration for me as I find that for myself, because it's not a choice I made in my childhood at all. The feeling of criticism or whatever really affected me and causes me still today to question myself. And I don't have to do that. And it can be as simple as I'm not doing that. And
Yeah.
it is it
Yeah.
it also comes with the baggage of the years, as you know, and that you are so understanding of when that's true for other people, what is it's true for most people.
Hmm.
Like, you are a unicorn, unusual in this way, I think. Or that you're there are people like you, but I think you're rare. So
Well, thank you. And I mean, I think that there is something potentially innate, you know,
yeah.
maybe. But also, just from so early on, I just looked around and was like, nope, not, no, ugh. Like, why would I agree with these people about anything? So, why I'm not going to agree with their opinion about me if I don't agree with their opinion on other stuff. They don't make good choices. They're not like, there were all these very clear things where I was like, why then would I take your opinion on me? I just would never. People, I think, have more intermittent or confusing or tangled up kind of opinions about the people that they love or that say that they love them, where it's like, yeah, but they're good here, or they said this, or it's like slippery language. And so, well, they couldn't have meant that. They meant this, and they talk themselves out of it. For me, it was just like, nope, not that. So I had to come up with my own idea of myself because I wasn't going to trust their opinion of me. So I just have a lot of practice, and it isn't like I put a blanket statement over it. It's a constant choice that I make. Someone that I love and I care about their opinion said something about me recently. I disagree. I disagree. That's not true. That's not what I said. That's not what I felt. That's not what I meant. But because I care about this person and I care about their opinion, it would make sense for me to like take that into consideration and be like, is that true? Am I this? No, I'm not. I can appreciate their opinion on other things and agree with them on other things and know for sure who I am and not question that. It's unchanged. That confidence, I really do feel is a stacking of those momentary choices or instances where somebody like pushed on something and where I went, I see what you're saying. I see why you think I'm, all these terrible things. And that's because you're looking at me through a lens of your insecurity. You're looking at me through a lens of criticism and through all these things. You're not actually seeing me. It's just very clear to me when someone is looking past me or looking at like their mother, but talking to me. I know you're not seeing me. You're not responding to me and the things that I'm saying. And that's a very like alone experience that I've had my entire life. So like unicorn is like a nice, fun rainbow way to say it. But other people have said alien, angel, any of those things that makes it, and I agree. I agree. It's rare, it's not common, it's not whatever. So it's not a negative. It's just like, yeah, well, then who's with me in that? Like who can play with me? Who can have fun with me? That's all I've wanted is playmates that don't see me in that way. So I'm so thankful for you and that you do believe me that how I feel is what I feel, even if you can't see it or understand it. You don't like think that I'm seeing something that isn't there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It feels very simple for me. It's like a
Yeah.
blanket statement, like, yeah, I believe you. Like, I just believe you. Okay, that's it. I'm
Yeah.
really
And
glad that you said the word agree again because we were talking about that kind of recently
yeah.
in terms of how do you be yourself? It's like your thoughts, actions, and feelings. Do you agree with yourself? So, having you talk a bit about your childhood here and I don't agree with these people. Why would I agree with their opinion of me? Just sort of solidifies that concept that we were talking about. And I think the word agree feels important. So I just wanted to highlight that.
Thank you. Yeah. And it really is when someone says something about you, do you agree with what they're saying about you? And if you do, like if they say something negative and you go, oh, God, oh, and you feel it and you're like, oh, and there's parts of it that are true, well, then it's an opportunity to go, do I want this to go on forever unchecked and like explored? Or do I want to like why do I do that? Why do I say those things? Or why do I fly off the handle about this? Or, whatever it is that somebody's saying about you. Or you disagree with what they're saying. And then you can go, no, that's not who I am. And then it doesn't, like, it's still, like, I'm still bothered because I wrote about it, but it doesn't stick to me. So somebody said something about me that isn't true. Like it isn't true. I disagree with it. It isn't true for me. So why would then I feel bad about that? Because I disagree with it. There's lots of things I disagree with that I just don't think about because why would I think about stuff that I don't think is true. And I can see how that comes with practice. Literally thinking moment to moment in my childhood in Rosalie's Diner, and I'm watching my mother interact with the customers. On one singular day, I could have hundreds of moments going, don't agree, no, no, no. And then to notice that and have that be something where I'm like, okay, well, then I have to trust myself. I have to believe myself because there's no guidance here. There's no one to anchor to. There's no one that I can confidently agree with. So I just need to agree with myself. That practice of agreeing with myself and feeling at peace with what I think came from this really awful situation, but I practiced intentionally what I believe, what I agree with.
Oh, great. So glad we're talking about this. I was feeling as you were talking a flow chart, that on the top is like, someone said this about me, or I don't know, this thing happened.
Yeah.
Do I agree or no?
Yes.
and 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 I think too that maybe some of the issues that we experience are because if someone points out something about us that we actually agree with, but it's painful, to
Yeah.
look at that and be like, the next step would be, okay, why? Why do I do that? Is what I was hearing you
Mhm.
say. Except we don't want to go there because that means that we're bad and wrong because we are not doing it right. Well,
Yeah.
if you follow the guidelines of the game and there is no right or wrong way, and you approach it as an opportunity, and it is hard to do because I think we're just so used to defending,
Yeah.
that if our experience often is criticism, I just see us out there with our sticks, like, no, no,
Yeah.
no, no. And so when you do recognize truth in what somebody else has said and you do agree with it, but you say you don't, that's maybe where tangled up things happen.
1,000,000%. Yes, I agree. And we know when somebody's doing that, but we don't think that other people know that we're doing that. I know, but it's like the cringe or the shame feelings or the guilt feelings or whatever that like it's like viscous. It's like sticky and slimy and like if you spend your life avoiding that, you're avoiding your whole life. It's not that bad to put your hands in it and feel it and get it cleaned up.
Yeah.
Because you didn't actually spill it on you, but it's on you. And now you're touching everything and it's getting on everybody else. Either be uncomfortable with it with this playful exploration that's gentle and incremental that I've been telling you to do. It's going to impact you one way or the other. That is what it is. The things other people say to us impact us. If we agree or disagree, or if we know we agree or not, or if we're whatever, like if we deal with it or we don't deal with it, but it impacts our relationships because if you become defensive and you don't deal with it, the other person has to. You just threw it back at them, and then they're covered in it, going like, I was just trying to tell you something so that we could do this together. But a lot of people are not safe to try to untangle that with because they haven't untangled their stuff. It's understandable why we get all tangled up together and then why we don't undo the necklaces. We just rip them apart and go our separate ways. We're just like, man, forget it. I don't even want to talk to anybody. I don't want to be close to anybody because it hurts too much. Those feelings didn't come from nowhere. They came from a very specific somewhere. So if you can be gentle with yourself and curious about why, like changing the tone of it instead of like, oh, why am I like this? Oh, but like, why am I like this? Like, how did this happen? Like, how did I get here? Why is this happening again? Because it's the same thing. and it keeps repeating. So it's like, okay, it happened again. You can think of that like this horrible thing keeps happening to me and it must be my fault because I'm the common denominator. Or you can go, oh, it happened again. I must be the common denominator here. So what, why? Why do people feel this way about like literally because I was received so scornfully by people, it made me look at myself and go, why are people looking at me like that? And look at everything about me and go, yeah, it's not me. It was never me. This is what it is. So when someone looks at me like that, I know exactly what it is. When someone says something to me and I disagree, I know exactly what it is because I have explored this, because I've looked at myself, because I went through those feelings and I cleaned off that slimy, gunky stuff from my parents and my former best friends. And I mean, I expressed myself and I witnessed myself and I practice believing what I believe is true, what I agree with. And when the things come up that I disagree with or that I think, well, maybe I agree with some of that, I suss it out. I look in all the corners because I'm curious about myself. I find people endlessly fascinating and I am people. So I'm going to look, I'm going to be nosy, I'm going to be curious about myself. It is a practice and
Yeah.
it's a choice
Yeah.
to like agree with yourself. And I really think it's that simple. It's
Yeah.
yes or no. And it's moment to moment. And then those moments stack. I really, truly believe that that is the truth, like
Yeah.
for everybody.
And that the four paths of the Plum Collective is how anyone could get there.
Yeah.
You want someone to tell you what it is, book a photo reading or have a
Yes.
courtesy call because Rosalie can see and feel that and tell you what it is. If you want to tell it to yourself, on practice in the diner,
Mhm.
they're there. Use
Yeah.
them.
And it's like they really work as maintenance, like to maintain that
Yeah.
agreement with yourself.
Yeah, because it's not a one and done thing,
Yeah.
right? I mean, like you're saying, it's
Yeah.
stacked over your whole life and you
Hmm.
continue to practice it. It's
Hmm.
you have to.
Yeah.
Maintenance, you have to maintain your person.
Yes, you really do. So when people say stuff to me, like in the TikTok comments or, in the comment section, and somebody is saying something that is so nasty, I go, I don't agree with that. And I know the whole story. I know everything. I know all the parts of it. From my perspective, that's not true. I have the research and the encyclopedias and all the paperwork to back it up. And I just know myself. I know my life. It's my experiences. But I think for a lot of people, a stranger in the comment section, somebody saying something that is nasty towards you, it can like really, really devastate you. So to have that clarity of like, do I like just like the flow chart, do I agree with this? And if there is something about it that I agree with, do I want that to continue or do I want to like do something about that? Do I want it to be different? Because then you have something to focus and, that it's not just like my life sucks or like everything. It's like, ooh, this one thing I can, it's tangible, it's doable, it's something that can have you feel better.
Yeah. If you answer yes and you want to untangle or work on it or whatever, four paths of the Plum Collective. If you answer no, I don't agree with that, the four paths of the Plum Collective like are still the answer to
Yeah.
maintaining and developing. And when you were talking about, I don't know what exactly now, just like a few moments ago, I was feeling how just earlier I said we're out there with our stick. I just feel you like swelling like a cloud, I guess is the feeling that I have, where you don't need to get your stick out because your capacity and your presence, maybe is the word I'm looking for, is just solid. But I guess I said cloud, that's not really solid, but growing, swelling, and it's unnecessary to get out there. I mean, sometimes you have to with your responses to comments and things, and you
Yeah.
choose to kind of get out there with your stick, but you're choosing it. And it feels like, but you don't have to. You don't have to defend yourself because you know yourself.
Yeah. And it really, like, I was actually thinking about it this morning that I want to make a video specifically talking about that because I get some comments that people are like trying to be kind or nice or whatever, saying like, "Oh, don't listen to them," or whatever. It's like, no, that's not, they're not bothering me in that way. Like, yeah, I'm irritated in the moment that I'm responding to the comment, and then it's gone. It's done because they don't mean anything to me. It doesn't stick to me. But I'm responding to it to show people how clear you can be about yourself, that you can just be like, that's ridiculous. Like, why would you even say it? Like, it's so absurd. And when you can see the absurdity in it, for me, like people that, are watching me and understanding what I'm saying can see somebody make a comment about my voice or about something and go, that's what you're getting from, they're sharing all of this and that's what you're poking at. And it helps people see that in their own life, that like that's what people will do. They will poke at one thing thinking that it's going to get you to stop. That's all that it is. And it's like, no, not going to. And so me responding in that way, I feel like it's more modeling something than it is me defending myself ever.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. It very much tracks with everything I know about you.
Yeah, and I agree with like your visual about it. And it's like, yeah, I would say if I poke a little bit, I'm always laughing. In every video that I make that I'm saying, F you or saying somebody's name exaggerated or whatever, I'm giggling as I'm doing it because it's like silly to me
Yeah.
that somebody would be so impassioned and so wrong about me and think that it would deter me when I'm unchanged by this nonsense. I'm literally telling you, my mother did it to me. And you think nameless, faceless, whatever is gonna like I can't handle that. That self-confidence I do think is important. And to just that this is what I'm dealing with on a daily basis. People are telling me who I am, and they're wrong. I disagree. I don't agree with who they think I am.
Well, I'm so proud of you, and I appreciate so much the example and modeling that you are choosing to share with all of us. So thank you. We're talking about you and your childhood and why and how you are the way you are. So it's very you focused, and it's an example and a modeling for literally everyone. And so you give the how to, so how you are the way you are, and that everyone can have it. And I just think that it's so important for us to hear because it's so simple, and you don't have to have gone through, like you went through, and so you've said this in the past, about the void experience, that let's make what happened to you
Mhm.
like have a it had a purpose.
Yes, it makes what I experienced purposeful. That
Yeah.
it wasn't for no reason, that it wasn't completely senseless, even though it was. And it should never have happened. The fact that it did, and that I had made the choices that I made intentional choices to teach from this experience. I could have made lots of other choices, but this was something that I felt as a child at 5 years old, watching Oprah Winfrey and being like, ugh, she's terrible at this. I don't know why I don't have my own show, the Rosalie Show, where I'm helping people, like actually talking to people and helping people and guiding them. And then I'd see Barbara Walters or I'd see House of Style and Cindy Crawford hosting and be like, I don't know why they're not calling me to give my opinion on these situations. My insight would be so helpful to people. To continue that knowing throughout my life and to use every experience of my life as something that I was learning from to be able to teach from is something that I was doing before the void. And then the void just solidified that experience so much and made it like I chose to be here. I chose to do this. Every person that joins the Plum Collective is making this worthwhile for me, is making my life purposeful.
Thank you for saying all that. It's just thank you. Thank you for being here.
When I'm saying it in comments or videos, that I'm so glad you're here. I mean it because it makes my experiences not for nothing, you know?
Yeah. Well, I just have to repeat it. Thank you.
And thank you for believing me.
Okay. Well, I'll read mine now. I want you to know that I am okay. There keep being moments when I feel not okay, but I really am okay. I think you've been seeing through your eyes only. The muscles around your eyes are tight and tired. I think you should try to notice when you're doing that and go into me, your heart, instead. I started to write drop into your heart, but that feels cliche. What do I really mean? Relax into your heart. Feel the marble roll here. Notice as it stops. Can you breathe here? Just a breath or two. It doesn't have to take a long time. It can interrupt your eyesight, which gets tight and narrow, and give you heart sight, which is softer and lighter and more open. Then you'll notice I am okay, even when you don't feel okay. I feel a lump in my throat as I'm writing this, and my noticing is up in my face again. So right now, I'll try it for the first time. Relax into my heart. Feel the marble roll here. I breathe here. Just 2 breaths is all it takes. And I feel it. I am okay. I stopped writing for a moment. I took another breath there. I like that the sensuization tells you what to do, but also doesn't tell you what to do. Sight, a perception of an object by the eye. Synonyms: notice, observe, perceive, witness. Heart sight instead of eyesight.
I loved your writing so much. It's very clear you're talking. Well, I don't know. It's not actually clear who's talking to whom, but that one entity is talking to another entity and giving very clear instructions. And there's also this feeling for me in my witness statement of really hearing you notice the feelings in your face
Mm-hmm.
and just like how that being a signal is what it sounded like you were saying. And so, me like bringing up feelings in your face is not, oh, about me, but it's like you're having this experience. You're writing something, you're saying something, you're giving yourself a directive thing that I'm curious if you had any memory of me saying feelings in your face.
Yes.
Okay. You're saying like tightness around your eyes. That's different than the words I use to say it, but you're saying this, we're talking about the exact same thing. And it's so cool for me to have you have these experiences and say the words that go with the feeling because they're your words and they are different than mine. And I know what you're talking about because I felt it before. So when you're saying your words, not only am I hearing with my ears, I'm having literally an embodied experience of like, we're feeling the exact same thing. That is another experience that I feel like alone in like, people don't really know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't feel alone when you're saying it. And then I'm going like, you know what you know it.
Ooh, I'm so glad you said that. Okay, I just have to say that recently, like in the past, I don't know, 2 weeks or something, I have been thinking about the reading you did for me, Where Are the Feelings in Your Face? So it's like it has been in my awareness and being like, I haven't listened to that multiple times and multiple. I'm like, why not? Ugh, we could go into all of that. So I've been thinking about it. And then when I wrote it, I definitely was like, ooh, I was connecting that. And it was just, coming out and I wrote whatever I wrote. So I'm so glad that you are saying that you really feel the connection and that you feel the connection. It gives me this feeling adjacent to what you were saying about your life, like, you know, purposeful. I'm currently experiencing this thing in my life that is not that. It's this silly situation with this dog in my family that is causing me to have a really hard time. So I'm having a hard time right now. But you saying the thing that you're saying makes me feel like, okay, there's a purpose for me having a hard time in this thing that I chose to happen. I got this dog and I have been having a little bit of an issue where I'm like, why did I do this? This is my fault. It's self-imposed really a lot of trouble into my life. And so you saying this has just made me feel like, yeah, there's a reason. Because I wouldn't be experiencing, I wouldn't have written this if I wasn't having a hard time.
Yeah.
So I'm having a hard time. And I wrote this. It feels really important to me. It feels connected to other things I've written, like this floating heart metaphor. It just feels like it's like, ooh, it deepens it. And also synchronistically this week, well, the last couple weeks, having a hard time. One thing that I do is I like to draw cards for my various card decks. And sometimes it feels like, oh, it doesn't do anything for me. But lately, it just feels like every time I pick a card, it's like, oh, yeah, this is interesting or helpful. And I have 3 decks where there's one card sitting on top, and they all have to do with heart somehow. And so for this to come up, I mean, is that why the marble went into the heart area for me? Maybe, whatever. It's all together and stacking, and there's synchronicities I feel, and it just feels significant and cool and
Yeah.
purposeful. And it really makes me want to listen to that reading again, because I think how I heard it at the time was very situational. There were hard things that were happening for me at that time. And I just would be so curious to hear it again now with a different circumstance
Mhm.
happening, and like what it meant to me at that time. I feel like, well, it's such a fluid phrase. It means different things, and you were expressing that in the reading, like so so this is a great podcast episode to listen to. I don't know which one it is, but I'll link it. It's just such a cool experience to listen to you feel the phrase in different ways, and I just know that I think I will hear another way that
Yeah.
it could be applied. So, as I'm pretty sure it was, check the balance of the feelings in your face. I'm pretty sure that was
Mhm.
the exact
Mhm.
phrase. And so it feels like it has been sort of percolating, and it feels very at the surface now with this writing. I don't know how balance factors, there's just more to explore, and I'm
Mhm.
interested.
Yeah. I mean, I love it. I think it's really exciting. What you just said makes me like, I mean, I'm feeling the feelings that I felt. It's so interesting. Oh, it's so interesting. At the time, I felt like balance, like the scales of justice sort of
Yeah.
balance that way. And so in your writing today, hearing you say, like, actually, can you read again what about like around your eyes
Yeah.
where you first said that?
Yes. I think you've been seeing through your eyes only. The muscles around your eyes are tight and tired. I think you should try to notice when you're doing that and go into me, your heart, instead.
Yeah. How the one part is talking to the other part is saying, like, notice, like, what you said, what you wrote is saying, check the balance of the feelings in your face. That's exactly what you wrote. You just wrote it. So this is what I realized. I said punishment and punishing. Those are the labels I put on the sensation. I put on this sensation, check the balance of the feelings in your face. So that's me as like an outside person saying, you're punishing yourself. You could check the balance of the feelings in your face. That's like the position. So the words I'm using from that position are going to be more directive or more instructional or more from an outsider perspective. But when you say self-blame or it's my fault, it's an inside
Mhm.
descriptor. Like you're labeling the same thing I'm feeling, you're labeling it self-blame. Or when you feel that, the words you're saying are, it's my fault. But that feeling is like the water, that you're swimming in. So when I said punishment or punishing, it's the same thing. It's just I said the label I gave. So it's like in the magic episode of the podcast that we just posted that you had such eh, insight to post. It's that. It's like I'm feeling the same sense. So what you said when you said it about this, or when you're talking about punish, those are my labels for the feeling. When you're talking about both of those things, the words you use immediately, I'm in it. I'm in the feeling with you, and I'm going, well, of course you would say it from so then I think, well, should I try to say it using words from that position? But I can't. It's like I'm zoomed out, you're zoomed in. You're gonna say the details, the words that you use for the details of the situation that is your life. You're gonna say it in that position. I'm gonna say it in this other position. So I'm pointing. You have to
Yep.
feel it
And how did I come up with self-blame and at fault? Rosalie, do you know?
through the diner, through your writing practice,
Yes, it was
perhaps.
in the diner. It was in the diner. And how did I come to this feeling in my face thing? Plum practice. And did I plan to find those things? No, I did not. Did I find them immediately after my readings? No, it's been a very long time. And like, that's okay.
Yes.
It's been, I think, fun and interesting along the way, except for some moments when it was not. And that's also okay. Like,
Yes.
this is life. We are
Yes.
humans. Life is complicated.
Hmm.
Our attention is pulled in all these directions. And
Yes.
then we can choose to engage with these practices and continue to untangle things. Like, it's a lifelong process.
Yeah.
I feel excited and inspired, and I'm going to listen to that reading again. And it's such a bummer that we don't have the my initial reading recorded, because that's not
I
how
know.
we were doing things back then. So we have to rely on memory, and that's okay. But there
Well,
is
in
a
the
recording.
notebook,
Yes,
we have the notebook page.
we do have the notebook page, and I have the recording for the more recent one. And yeah, I'm interested and excited, and I think this feeling of heart sight instead of eyesight is very interesting to me, and had me look up the word sight. And I only wrote down a little. So I wrote down a perception of an object by the eye, which was very interesting to me because I had already written heart sight and eyesight. So then for it to be by the eye, I was like, well, I mean, of course, that's the definition, but it felt good. But there was another one that has something to do with position and direction, an observation to determine direction or position, and then in parentheses, as by a navigator. Ooh, it feels like you're the navigator.
And your inner voice really is that navigation, your internal
Mm.
GPS. It is. You need to witness it to be able to like hear the guidance. Like it's so simple that that so many people will journal or talk to their friends or talk to their therapist, but they're not listening back. So it's like plugging in your coordinates or your destination or whatever in your GPS and having the volume off and not looking at the screen. It's running the whole time. Why did I know that you could notice the, like, check the balance of the feelings in your face and that that would mean something? It didn't have any connection at the time. It was like, what? Like, I didn't even understand what I was saying when I said it. And I had to hear myself say it to be like, what am I saying? But now to hear you, because like, it's cool to me to know that you've been thinking about the reading and that you've been pulling these cards and that, like, still point and floating heart and all of these things have been floating around they're here. And that when you wrote this, I don't think you were like thinking at all
Nope.
about no. So that to me is so affirming and confirming to whatever I'm doing because it existed in your body. It is something that helps you. It is guidance you're giving to yourself. And I just was early.
Mhm.
It helps me to think of it that way, that it's like me being early to something and that it not existing
Yeah.
or not being meaningful or whatever, to just be like, okay, well, let's give it, I don't know if it's time or if it's like resistance, or if it's that like things are so hard that you have to notice it,
Mhm.
like, or what, or
Yeah,
that,
and well, I think this is something that we've talked about where I feel like yes to all those things, and I have been practicing. I really feel like
oh,
that's
yes.
a huge, and not to say that, not to discount anything that you said, but I think that yeah, it's time, and no, you don't need to change your words, but the person needs to engage somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, you say this, it could be just like a one off. Okay, that was cool. That was interesting. That was, and then you don't think about it. Okay, yes, you can absolutely do a reading that way. Or you can have the reading and then engage with the recommendations, and gently and incrementally over time, more will happen. But if you do nothing, you get the beginning. There's just so much more potential of
Yeah.
things that could happen. It also, like you saying that this feels good to you or means something to you for you. This also, this, the fact that there are all these things like floating around, and then I have this writing means something to me because one of my issues with myself is that I feel like I always forget all of these like concepts that come up for me or progress that I feel like I've made. Sometimes I question my like what am I doing? Am
Yeah.
I the same? And then to know that yeah, remembering is not required. That those things, the little tidbits that I've collected along the way, the readings, the nuggets that I have come up with, the metaphors that mean things to me, they are floating around even if I don't remember them. And sometimes they show up in practice. And that's really cool. It just feels confirmation that remembering is not required.
Yes. Oh, I'm so glad you said all of that. It's the witnessing of your self-expression that you're like tapping into what is there. If I'm reading it, it's because it's there. It's in your energy, it's present in your body, and you're holding it. You're holding all of these things all the time. But then if your eyesight is focused on whatever, making dinner, doing the regular day-to-day stuff, it makes sense why we have to like tune out like the sound of this, of Plum, of like you and that GPS on the inside because we intellectualize what we have to do, or our to-do list becomes the guidance more than following the feeling. And so to me, it really sounds like you're following the feeling when you're writing that and you're saying you're feeling the feelings in your face and you're going like, do you notice that? When you notice it, can you connect and see from here? Because when you see from in here, you have all of the knowledge, you have all of the data, you have all of the stories. So it's like when I'm saying about somebody saying something to me being like, I don't agree, because you are seeing one little tiny portion of it. I got the whole thing here. I know all of it. I have all the history. That's true for you. That's true for everybody. You're holding all of it. So when I'm reading you, I'm picking up something that is coming to the surface of all of it. So when it came up, check the balance of the feelings in your face, you had that in you forever, maybe. Who knows? I don't know the origin or the what it just was like that was the message. My question is like, what do you need to know? What do you need me to tell you? Well, you're telling me something so I can tell you. And now you're telling yourself the same thing that I told you in your words. And it means more to you now than it did when I said it because it wasn't your words. It was just me pointing, hey, over here, there's something.
And see, when you say it means more to me now, it wouldn't mean something to me for it to come up if
Yeah.
it hadn't already come up,
Yes.
you know? I had
Yeah.
to have the starting point. The starting point made it easier for me. So the fact that when I identified at fault and self-blame, oh, that's punishing, you know? Like
Hmm.
it made it more meaningful to have had it said to me already in different words. Like, oh, I found it. This is
Yes. Yes. Because it really, I feel like readings or clarity calls or anything that I say is a map, is a treasure map. I have felt you in the vicinity, but now you have it. Like there's a difference of having it and being kind of like around it.
mhm.
And can you feel that, like the difference in that, or like
Yep.
the,
Yeah.
like something? Oh,
It
go ahead.
feels like, oh, I know. I know. It just makes it make sense. It's cut through the noise
Mhm.
fully.
Yeah.
And not that I didn't, like I said before, I believe you, but I haven't embodied. It's not
Mhm.
just default, I believe you because I just believe you. It's like I believe you from not just my eyesight, from my heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Like in inner knowledge of the thing.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
I know it inside, not just, yeah, in my head or up here. I know it
Yeah.
so when I say like I know it in my bones, it's
Hmm.
like it's at the bone marrow going out, like the whole thing. So when you're saying the expanding cloud feeling, it's like that. I know it. I'm
Hmm.
here and I know it. And this is, I agree with this. Everything else, no, disagree. But this, I know. It's like, ooh, relax and let go. This
Hmm.
and the I know.
Yes. This just to provide context to that statement, a long time ago, I said to you, the thing I think you're always saying to me, and everything that you say to me is relax and let go. And that has become so important to me. In fact, it influenced this writing because I started to write drop into your heart, which I really don't like. And so it's like, what do I really mean? Relax into your heart. It was because of that.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you said to me, the thing that I always say to you is, you know.
Yeah. We receive each other. We reflect something back to each other. We mirror things to each other if we can see each other clearly. And if we're seeing from our heart, like you saying, I know your heart, like
Yeah.
that you are seeing me through your heart. And then everything I say makes sense, or you can believe it because you're like, oh, that's what they mean about this. They're not
Hmm.
saying something else. They're
Yeah.
saying this because you're seeing me through that. So, and it's the thing, it's so wild to me to have this all come together and connect because it really does feel that way to me. How people can listen to me or receive me, you can do that for yourself. You can receive yourself in that way. You can listen to your own story in that way and have the insights feel like teaching in that way to yourself. So I really hear that in your writing today. I hear it all the time, but it's like cranked up loud and so clear, like really clear, no static. Like you said, cut through the noise, clicked in, you have it. Like it's not, you know, maybe it's like, no, I got it.
Hmm.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very proud of you and very excited for you. And I agree that it's because you have practiced, you've been intentional, and you've wanted to. You've been curious.
Yep. And I've used the structure that we
Mhm.
created, we
Yeah.
do this every week, every week. And
Yes.
while I think my diner experience is more intermittent than I'd like, I'm still doing it, and I do it when I can, and it makes me want to do it more, knowing
Yeah.
every time I do a loop of the diner, I do learn more about myself. I do increase my inner knowledge, and I love that.
Yeah. The framework works.
It does.
You put your details into it and you get something back. You get yourself back. It's powerful stuff. I'm like happy for you
Thank you.
because
And I'm
it's
happy for
like,
you. This was such a great both of us had important experiences.
yeah, it's really great. Is there anything else you'd like to say about your writing or your
Mm.
experience?
Well, I feel more capable right now than I did 2 hours ago. And that's a good feeling. Like I feel
That's
like I have
amazing.
a new tool, and we'll see how the day unfolds. We say all the time, you have to give it to yourself. Like you support yourself, you witness yourself. I feel more capable of supporting myself right now.
I'm so happy for you. That's amazing.
This episode of the Plum podcast is now complete. Thank you for joining us.